Hey everybody, Comic Book Steve here again with the first New Year haul. We didn't have anything to do today, my wife and I, so we went down to New England Comics in Brockton, Massachusetts. They still have their 50% off back issue, 20% off wall books, and other sales going on. They don't really have an end date for it that I'm aware of. Probably after this holiday weekend is over and everything's all said and done. But it was still going on today, and there were new books that came out last Wednesday and today actually that I had not picked up yet. If you don't already know, there were some books that Marvel shipped out and people put on store shelves on Wednesday that weren't supposed to be on sale. Um, so they requested that the stores take them off the shelves, and then since so many had already gotten out and were already sold and on eBay, they decided to tell stores that they could put them up for sale today, instead of waiting for January 6th. So I picked up some of those and got some back issues, some more Amazing Spider-Man stuff, and some fun stuff here. So anyway, let's get started. We will kick it off with the new releases that I got for this week. So first up is All New Wolverine number 3. This is still a fun book. I really like the art. The story's pretty good. I'd put overall the arc in and of itself around like a 6-7 out of 10 so far. I'll probably continue throughout the first arc and then see where I go after that. Trying to whittle down my weekly pickups or monthly pickups. Just because I don't want to have to keep buying new boxes, and where I'm limited on space in the apartment I have now, so gonna have to trim down a bit on new releases at least. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I am enjoying the book. If you're on the fence about it, I would give it a shot. I think it's pretty fun. Next one I picked up was Amazing Spider-Man number 6. This is it's still by Dan Slott. It's a different artist. I guess they're switching off. This guy and Giuseppe are probably switching off. I don't like this art very much, and in fact, I really like the first arc. But this first part of this arc, I'm not too crazy about. I'm obviously gonna continue it, but I'm not a huge fan about it so far. We'll see how it goes. Then we get Spidey number 2. Still loving the art. I like the story and the direction even less than I did in the first issue. This issue is mostly like monologue, and it seems, I don't know, it feels when writers try to bring back the high school Spidey, for me it feels forced. I never get a sense that it's natural. So a lot of it feels like they're trying too hard to make him sound young, and it doesn't really connect with me. But I do love the art, so I'm like on the fence about dropping this book. It feels like a repackaged all ages book that they're trying to sell to collectors or mainstream Amazing Spider-Man fans. It just feels very like they're one and done stories, which some people like, some people don't. I don't mind them when they're done well. This one I didn't feel was that great, and it's really confusing because it doesn't fit into, it doesn't follow continuity very well. It's like writing its own continuity. So Gwen's in high school with Peter, and you get those like modern retellings where he's talking about Instagram and things like that, and that's fine. That happens. I see that in other books. But for some reason, this one just isn't jiving with me too much. It feels like an alternate universe take on Spider-Man, so I'm not 100% on it, and I'll probably, I don't know if the art's going to be enough to keep me on board, so we'll see how it goes. But I really do like Nick Bradshaw's art, so I wish he would do like the mainline Amazing Spider-Man book, but for now this is all we got. So I'll stick with it probably throughout issue 6, and then I'll see how it goes. So that's the new releases I got, and then we're gonna get into the back issue books. These are the dollar bin ones I picked up. These two. Iron Man 284, which is kind of, I would say, a unrecognized key in the Iron Man series. I know I've seen this in other people's hauls over the past year. I can't remember if they mentioned uh, the key portion of this book. This is the first time that Rhodey wears the War Machine armor. Now I know War Machine, the armor itself, first appeared in 282 is like the main one people get. There was the cameo at the end of 281, and then it continued into 283. But 281, 282, and 283, that's all Tony wearing the War Machine armor. So it's the first appearance of the War Machine armor, but it's Tony wearing the armor. This issue here is the first time that Rhodey wears the War Machine armor, which becomes his armor. So I feel like this is a super undervalued key. If it hasn't picked up yet, I don't think it necessarily will, but I don't know if that's just because people aren't aware of it. But this is the first time that he wears the War Machine armor. So in my opinion, this is a pretty important key issue, especially when you're talking about keys in the War Machine timeline. This was another $1 one. This is Rampaging Hulk #1. I just got this because it was a #1 for a Hulk book. I like Rick Lenardi's art, so I grabbed it. I know this was another one of those books that during the late 90s they were dabbling with bringing back the Savage Hulk after having so many years of Grey Hulk and Merged Hulk. So this was Marvel trying to get back to the roots of the character. Without like aggravating too many fans, I guess, so they can have their cake and eat it too. Eventually, if you know anything about the Hulk publication history, they did bring back the Savage Hulk in the mainline Hulk series when they relaunched it with John Byrne writing and Ron Garney on the art. But I think this one came before that, and this was their attempt at trying to do both at the same time, the Peter David Hulk or the progressed Hulk mentality, and then do the Savage Hulk. But you know, eventually this probably didn't sell as well as mainline Hulk, so they brought it over to there. I'm not 100% on the timeline for this, so I might be getting that a little messed up, but I believe that was the case, that this debuted during the end of the Incredible Hulk Volume 1 run. But anyway, it was a #1. I like the art, so I thought I'd pick it up. It was only $1. Only takes up space. Oh, this one? I guess I'll show off this one. This was 20% off. It was one of the wall books they had. This isn't actually for me, it's for a friend of mine. She's a nurse, so I thought I'd pick it up for her. I always grab it when I see it in like back issue bins and on the wall, but it's an $8 book, so I always end up putting it back. It was 20% off on this day, so I was like, fine, I'll pick it up before. I'm sure this has a low print run, not that that really means anything, but just for my own, like, picking it up for my friends. I don't know how often I'll see it in the future, so just thought I'd grab it. Night Nurse. Okay, so these are all, the rest of these are 50% off books, and they're all Spider-Man. Surprise, surprise. Trying to stay focused on completing the 200 to 700 run that I want. So we got 209 here. This was $4.50 after the sale. First appearance of Calypso, and it's a decent copy. It does have some dents in it, if you can see when the light shines in the middle over there, but not. It's not super terrible. I think $4.50 was fine for that condition. It was originally ticketed at $9. I definitely would not have paid $9 for it. Alright, and then we get 228. This one actually already had, I forgot to bring my checklist of issues I'm missing. For some reason I thought that I didn't have this one, but I do. I'll have to see which one's the better copy and just try to keep one of them and figure out what to do in the other one. But yeah, Roger Stern's run, pretty awesome run of Spider-Man books. Then we got 684, part of the Ends of the Earth storyline, with the awesome art of well, actually the cover art has the artist I like. I forget his name, but the interior in this one's done by Ramos, who I'm not a super fan of, but the guy who did the cover and sometimes did the interiors of Slot's run was pretty awesome. One of my favorites. If him and Marcos Martin and Nick Bradshaw did like alternating artist duties on Amazing Spider-Man, I'd be in heaven. Those are the guys I like the most of the modern era. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man 676, just another one to fill in the gaps. I think that was about $2 after the sale. $6.98, second print. Another one of those books that I have the first print, but if I see a second print for cheap, I'll pick it up, even though the cover's not drastically different. I think it just has the second printing up here, and the coloring is yellow instead of white on the logo. This was again about $2. This one confused me. This is Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 37, but do me a favor and try to find where it says Annual on the cover, because I certainly couldn't find it. It's got an awesome Marcos Martin cover. I thought it was a variant for a book in the Slot run. I didn't pay attention to the number, I just knew it was a cover that I didn't have. But looking into it, it is an annual, number 37, not part of the mainline series. But, you know, that's fine. It was only like $2. And the fun part for me on this is it has a new Untold Tales of Spider-Man story by the same creative team that did Untold Tales in the 90s, which is pretty awesome. I really like that series. Kurt Busiek was an awesome writer, and Pat Olaf. I really like his art, so that was a fun discovery. But yeah, if I realized it was an annual, I probably wouldn't have been super interested in grabbing it. But I do need to grab the annuals, so something I would have gotten eventually anyway. Then we got Amazing 226. This was, I think, about $3.50 after the sale. It's an okay copy. There's not anything super majorly wrong with it other than that piece of gunk on Black Cat's hair. But it's definitely not very fine. I guess I would say this is like a fine copy. And then we got number 225. This was about $4. Pretty good looking copy there. Some creases on the spine, but not anything like super major wrong with it. So I was happy about that. Amazing Scarlet Spider, the enhanced version. The enhancement on the Scarlet Spider books was the neon coloring, whereas the unenhanced versions just had like normal coloring. I don't know. It was the 90s. This is one I always forget that I don't have, and it kind of is in this Amazing Spider-Man run, since Amazing Spider-Man was put on hold for 2 months while I did these two Amazing Scarlet Spider issues. So technically, it's part of the Amazing Spider-Man run. I don't know if they include these when they count like all the issues, when they did like 700 and when they did 500, if they count these two as part of that. They might, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Anyway, this was about $1. And the last one I got was another Amazing Spider-Man book, number 693. This is another one that I always forget if I have or not. Not really crazy about Alpha. I didn't like that storyline, so it's pretty forgettable for me. So did not remember if I had it or not. Anyway, that's about it, guys. This is my first haul of the new year. I will have another haul probably at the end of next weekend. Like if all the boxes that I got from eBay are at my office when I get in on Monday, or I'm sure they'll be there during the week because I ordered them while I was on vacation last week. So there's some cool ones coming that I'm excited about. There's also new releases next week, so I'll be showing those off. Hope you guys had a safe and happy New Year's Eve and having a good New Year's Day. We're playing it pretty boring, I guess, or lax. We didn't do anything last night. We're not doing much today other than just taking a drive out to some stores and doing some errands and stuff. So yeah, hope everyone has a good start to 2016. I have some big plans for my professional career in terms of like going back to school and looking for a house and all that fun stuff. So if I'm smart, my comic book consumption will be less than last year, but sometimes I just can't resist, you know. I'll probably stay more focused on like the Amazing Spider-Man stuff and not so much on like new releases and trying to chase down the hot book of the month. Um, but sometimes that's fun if you can find it cheap. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.